Capricorn, welcome to your reading for the month of November. If you like the content that I share, please click the like and subscribe button down below. And this message is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, Capricorn, I pulled your energy, I pulled your environment's energy, and your first card out. And it felt like this is a time where the blinders are coming off. Something you haven't wanted to see, you might finally be starting to see clearly. And you might also be feeling like at this time there's a lot of confusing energy around you, and it's like you're trying to part the clouds and see through it accurately. So if that resonates for you, this is likely, there's probably more here for you. So in your energy, you got 3 cards coming out. You got the Four of Swords, the Hierophant, and the King of Cups. The Four of Swords was also your first card out, and your environmental energy was the High Priestess, which we'll get into. There is a strong call in these cards to take time out, which you might have already done. This could have been in your recent past. Take time out to see a situation clearly, to listen to your own inner guidance instead of the noise and the opinions of others or your partner at this time, and to take a rest, to take like a legitimate rest. Because with the Hierophant and the King of Cups coming out with the Four of Swords, I don't like that your energy wasn't very present in your own reading. There is someone else who keeps coming up in your reading for this particular spread this month. And unless you have very strong water placements, this energy seemed to dominate your reading. Now, with the Hierophant in the reverse, this could suggest a couple of different things. That this is a partnership, possibly even a marriage or a business partnership. The Hierophant's also a spiritual card. It can be like a religious leader in some instances. And some partnerships, something has gone awry, and that comes up throughout the 9-card spread even more. But I felt that right when I saw this Hierophant reversed. One side message doesn't feel as relevant. The Hierophant reverse can also point towards the need to go against tradition and against like family traditions, things that you learned growing up that aren't in alignment with who you actually are. And so take that if it resonates, especially leading into the holidays. That might, if you feel like a pressure cooker, like something growing around some family tradition, this could be indicating that sort of energy and the need to break free of some tradition or be more authentic to who you actually are, Capricorn. So in your environment with the High Priestess, this is that water energy coming up again. It could literally be a Pisces or someone with strong Pisces placements, but it's reiterating to me more of that need to go within and be meditative and connect with your higher guidance. Because your environment, the middle of your reading came up also as the environmental energy, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. And there's something coming to light here. I might reiterate that a couple times in this reading, but there's something that it's almost inescapable. It's like the environment, the universe wants you to see something, and it might feel as though almost like the ground underneath you is like moving in an attempt to get you to see something clearly. You did come up here as the Queen of Wands, which I like, although I'm sensing this is kind of a past energy. Four of Swords, Queen of Wands, King of Swords. And this King of Swords seems like the same person as this King of Cups. So one thing you could be waking up to now is how in the past, maybe even in the recent past, you were really aligned with your true passion, with your creativity, with your artistic pursuits, with your inherent gifts, and that your partner, whoever this is showing up as, whether it's business or it's like in a romantic sense, your partner, you're waking up potentially to some sternness, to this almost seems like the Emperor energy to me, like my way or the highway type mentality. I hope y'all can see okay with this sun coming through. Anyway, side note. This feels too stern for your energy, Capricorn. It's almost like there was an instance where you were very vulnerable, you were very open, very warm, and were met with this almost more like a warrior for a partner, instead of somebody who could meet you here and, you know, it's no one's responsibility to bring this energy, the Queen of Wands, out in us, but somebody who could nurture that inside of you. It's like that was something that maybe you're waking up to at this time. Four of Swords energy helps you to see it, the meditative, contemplative, going within energy. This going within energy is nearly the opposite of like a Three of Cups, which could show up as like asking your friends for advice and that sort of thing. Community doesn't come up here. So this is something, especially with the High Priestess in your energy and the Wheel of Fortune, that's like fate, and Divine Wisdom at the bottom of this deck. There's definitely a need to connect with your own inner guidance, Capricorn. And you got the Judgment card right underneath the Four of Swords. It's like it's blasting through. Messages are trying to come in for you to show you something as it is. And the Wheel of Fortune next to it is just reiterating it even more. I'd say the strongest energy coming out of this is one of greater like universal law, like karma. And the Wheel of Fortune, as it turns over, just like it does for all of us, through different seasons of life, it's like that's the strongest energy in your reading for the month of November. And what it's asking in this, and we'll keep going into it, is seeing clearly. So this, whatever this was, could be something that you put a lot of energy into. With the Pentacles, it can even be, you put a lot of money into this, you put a lot of time, a lot of your resources, and just energy, right? You have right now, Capricorn, you have Saturn still in your second house, especially, this is Capricorn rising, but sometimes I find it resonates for the sun signs. You have Saturn in your second house, which is teaching you lessons at this very deep level. It's not superficial, teaching very deep lessons around your own possessions, money, and self-worth and value. So this feels to me like self-worth and value is under scrutiny, right? And it's in Aquarius in your second house, but it's about to move into your third house by like the end of the year. So what that says, since it's about a 1.5 year long transit, Saturn transits, it says that it wants to show you this lesson. It's willing to take the time, because Saturn takes a lot of time to show lessons. And whatever hasn't been seen for the past year, I would say about a year, that is really like coming through right now, right? So even the astrology is like pointing to some of these messages here. You also have Pluto in your first house, which I'm probably going to talk about like every reading for you guys, because it is that deep inner transformation. It's not superficial. Pluto is like, let's do shadow work, and Venus is like, let's go get a facial. And so it's really asking Capricorn energy to do the work right now, which I know you guys have probably been feeling, because that doesn't play. This message felt like a really strong one for me. Your 7th card out was the Two of Swords. And in the Two of Swords, the blindfold is on, but he could put down the swords and he could take the blindfold off of himself, right? And after the Two of Swords, this is like a movement energy left to right of where you've been versus where this could be heading. And the Queen of Swords comes out next. It goes Queen of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Swords. And this might not be a comfortable energy for you to be in. That's what I'm sensing from this, especially moving from that Queen of Wands energy into this, which is one where instead of willingly not seeing red flags, it's one where you're looking them directly in the face. And this is facing the Devil card, which came out last. Of course, this is your card and could be you stepping into more of your authenticity, right? But the clearer message to me feels like looking at what hasn't been working directly in the face. And so instead of this being like your energy and your card for a second, I want to look at this as like the shadow attributes of this card. So looking at addictions, looking at maybe even like compulsive tendencies. That's interesting. What you've been bound to, because they're chained in this. What you've been bound to that maybe you didn't even, like, obviously you didn't want to see, but now there's a coming into awareness of it. This might happen towards like the end of the year, maybe towards the end of November, maybe as we get rolling into the holidays more. but it feels like maybe speaking truth to power, but more than a card of speaking, this feels like seeing what's been restricting you, seeing what's been holding you back from being in your fullness, from connecting with your joy, all that. I sense with this, like all that sacral chakra energy, right? Your creativity, your play, your fun, and that something's been a little bit bound up in that. Now, you had at the end like some more cards spilled out, and so I took this. It feels like a separate message from the 9-card spread. You got the 5 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. Again, this doesn't feel like you. This is once again the King of Cups, which came up in your energy here. There could be something around the movement of abundance, but again, it doesn't feel like you. That's so strange, because I'm being drawn right now to like the Wheel of Fortune, how the 5 turning into the 10 is definitely like a flipping over, right? But it almost doesn't feel like you. Maybe this is the viewpoint you've been looking at this person in. Maybe this is the viewpoint this person's been looking at you in. I don't know. I would just take this as it resonates, because this just feels like such a side story. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that, except real quick, the bottom of the decks were really telling, and it mirrors back what we've been talking about already. 7 of Cups, divine wisdom. To get out of this state of confusion, and there's a lot of possibilities of what you've been confused about, right? It doesn't have to just be a partnership or something. This could be confusion that's inflicted by other people, by work situations, offers of some sort, and that it's by connecting to divine wisdom that you break free of these chains of whatever the situation was. All right, Capricorn, that's been your reading for the month of November. I hope you have a beautiful month. And again, if you like the content that I share, please click the like and subscribe below.